right, everybody. I'm Barre Pinske. I'm from Chester, Vermont. I'm a chainsaw carver up there. I started doing comedy 2 years ago, and I'm so excited that I did it. I've met some cool people. What I've decided to do is produce a comedy showcase with my peers at the Bellows Falls Opera House. We're doing it Thursday night, May 21st at 7 o'clock. And I brought two of my comedy friends here to do an interview. We have Mindy Bean from Jamaica, Vermont, and Aaron Richter from Farrelly, Vermont. So how are you guys doing? Thanks for coming.
Great. Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. So I've been telling my friends how lucky I feel to be a part of what I'm calling the open mic comedy community, because that's kind of what we are. So for folks at home to kind of get what's going on, mics, or open mics as they call them, is a place where people interested in comedy go to work on their material. They have showcases where comics do proven work that you might get paid out of a bucket for donations, or people donating money or a little bit of cash. And then they have shows, or we have shows where they hire comics and promote it, and then they get paid real money to do a show. So what we do primarily is open mics. Aaron, you've done paid shows in the past, and Aaron actually produces a show and an open mic.
Yeah. We do. I host open mics, and then you get people that are really hone their material and really make it really tight and great. And then we put on shows, and people get paid. We sell tickets, and it's a great time.
And so I met Aaron at Brightside Brewery, which is in West Lebanon, at the airport. I believe I saw that mic listed on New England Comedy Open Mic Facebook page, which is where a lot of them are listed. And then, Mindy, how did you and I meet? We met in Brattleboro.
Yeah. Yep. I just decided to try an open mic. I'm so glad I did. It's a great community. It's a really supportive community. If you have a lot of problems, it's especially fun. You can just kind of get it out there.
Are you saying that you use comedy as a form of therapy, Mindy?
Is that what you're saying? I think a lot of people do that.
That's true. That's very true. A lot of people do.
They say that I watch Kill Tony a lot, and whenever someone gets up and like bombs, Tony will say, so both of your parents are still together? Because you're not funny.
When I bomb, no one says anything to me. They just don't make eye contact with me because I'm probably crying.
I'm surprised at how much I enjoy the open mic scene, how much I enjoy doing comedy. And I guess I should get to this. I built a performance space in my art gallery in Chester. These two have been there. I want to communicate that too to people watching. My intent was to do music there, and then I got involved with comedy. So now we're doing open mics there. We've been doing them Saturday nights at 7:30. But the dopamine hit, the joy, I don't know what it is. I mean, I left Brightside a couple of weeks ago where I showed up without new material, and we had a crowd so I could do my proven material. Yep. And I was driving down the hill thinking, wow, I just love this.
Laughing makes everything better. It just does.
And what about you, Aaron? Why do you like it so much, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of times, you could do, let's say, 10 different open mics, right? And most of them, 5 or 6 will be okay. There'll be maybe a couple that are pretty bad. And then you'll have like one or two where everything just clicks. You know, the audience is loving it. You're loving it. You have the energy, and it's just like I had a great show last Saturday, and I'm still riding the high.
Yeah.
You know, it just you do it all for that like one time out of 10. Even that's worth it.
Yeah, it's like
Really true. It's true. Yeah.
So I know some of our comedy peers do struggle with depression. I know some of my peers that struggle with depression. I don't struggle with depression. I'm grateful for that. But I do think I have like a little bit of a dopamine imbalance. Like I want to, I like skiing. I like driving my car fast. I like kayaking in a fast river. I like exciting, thrilling things. And I find like a while back, before a mic or a show or whatever I was doing, I felt nervous. And what I said to myself is like, dude, this is what you're doing this for. This is the excitement. You want to embrace that. And ever since I did that, it's just, I get psyched up. I do it. I feel good. It's fun.
Yeah. I have the opposite experience in that I feel awkward in crowds. Like, this isn't like a dopamine thing for me. I feel most comfortable kind of being a character behind a microphone. So it gets me away from real life and playing to an audience. So it's kind of like, I've always loved make-believe, and now like I'm behind the mic and I'm like someone else, Yeah. So I have a different reason.
Yeah,
I
that's
do it.
cool.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of plays growing up, and like in my early 20s, I used to love acting before I got into comedy. And then and that's a lot of fun. That was like kind of like a dopamine hit, especially like after a good, show with everybody. But comedy is just that next, drug up, It's just so, when it's just exhilarating,
Yeah. So we're all kind of in it for the thrill, maybe for different reasons. Yeah. I did comedy for my dad's 80th birthday, and there had 100 people there.
How'd that go?
It went really, really well. I said that my dad's best friend's name is Gary, and I said that Dad and Gary were writing a book, and it was called We Lived Our Lives Like We Didn't Have Wives. and when everybody laughed, they roared, and it was like a tidal wave. And with all the people, I felt like I was on a beach getting water splashed at me. And that's kind of what I'm hoping we might be able to experience at the Opera House if enough people come out. So just to communicate what goes on at the mics with our viewers, open mics are often just comics or a few people in the audience. And the problem is, and I'm guilty of it myself, us comics are thinking about setup, punchline, premise, what everybody's doing, and we don't laugh.
Right.
So our reward...
You need an audience.
Yes, and our reward is the laughter. So when we're doing our open mics, oftentimes we're not getting our reward. So I think Aaron will recall me complaining to him, let's do more marketing. I want people at our shows. And I'm getting shows in Chester, which nobody thought anyone would come to because it's a small town without much going on, and people are showing up for something to do.
Yeah.
And doing this event too is that same thing. So I'm not trashing the open mic scene because it's important, but we really need the people for the reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's mics are the way I think of them, and how they generally run is the fact that open mics, just like, comedy open mics, just like music open mics, is a place for people to practice, maybe get in front of people, but maybe practice in playing in front of just being on stage, And sometimes, in the comedy community, we say, like, even if you don't have an audience and comics aren't laughing at your jokes, at least you're there getting a rep in.
Yeah.
You know, you're exercising that comedy muscle, even if you aren't getting much of a reaction.
Well,
you know?
I think with respect to that, so way back when Alex, who runs the studio, and I tried to do a reality show, we got in the top 5 with A&E in a competition in Boston, top 5 out of 1,000, which was really cool, thanks to Alex's help. So I've always wanted a reality show. When I started thinking about doing comedy, part of it was if I really could get a reality show and I'm getting close but not getting it, or what could I do better? It's like, what do I lack? So if you're like in baseball, you're not making it into the minors, you might spend the winter in Arizona learning how to hit a curveball or something. So my point is, I've been studying the history of entertainment, I've been studying comedy, and one of the things that they say over and over and over is comedy is really hard to learn. The most valuable thing is getting the reps. And that's what you're kind of talking about, Aaron. Just getting up, being on stage and doing your jokes, whether you get the response or not, that's a big part of what the open mic scene is about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'll also add that also what's really beneficial is the people you hang out with after the mic or after the show, because a lot of my best jokes have come when we're all like out at a diner after the mic or the show, and I'm like, oh no, I should have been. If only I had said that on stage, you know. So that's a lot of fun, just messing around with people after the fact.
Yeah, I think hanging out with comedians gives you a really different perspective on the world. I think that we have a different way of looking at everyday ordinary events that's really interesting. So when you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are like-minded like that, it's a lot of fun, and you do collect material that you can polish at the mics.
I've done a lot of promotion in my life. It's part of why I'm doing the event at the Opera House. It's something that I like doing. When I was a kid, my family used to produce this thing called the Woodchopper's Ball, and we did like lumberjack type of stuff in our little town of Plato. They were always doing things so I grew up with promoting events, having things in our town hall, a little town of 350 people. And I am so amazed, I think, from my social groups during my lifetime, which I've had many. I think I like the comics more than any group that I've been a part of. So within the last 2 years, really, I've made a whole different network of friends, and we're seeing that with this event. So going to a mic in New York, you're meeting people. Going to a mic in Connecticut, you meet people. Going to a mic in Rhode Island, I'm meeting people. People travel all the way up to Brightside or wherever we're doing it. We did a deal at my place. We had 34 people there. 10 of the people, you guys were there, drove over 2 hours to get there.
It's true.
It's crazy.
You'll see the same comedians performing in New York, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. You run into the same people because it's such a great thing. I mean, you drive far.
Yeah, you gotta love to drive.
You really gotta love to drive.
You know, I have a blanket and pillow in my car. You know,
that was one of my questions for you guys that I wrote down
car.
here. It's like how often do you get up and how far do you drive normally? Aaron, you go almost every night.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I will drive 4 hours or more round trip to get 5 minutes of stage time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the life of or I could move to more of a city area.
That's always an option. We live in the middle of nowhere, so we're kind of,
exactly. That's also
not helping ourselves out.
Well, I think that's the neat thing about my performance space in Chester. I mean, we did a show last Saturday. Now, being that there was a mic Wednesday in Hanover at Sawtooth, and then a mic Friday at Brightside, in West Leb, and then we did mine Saturday. I think a lot of the comics, and then it was dreary weather, so it was just Mindy and I. But we had people from the town that showed up, and
wandering in every half hour. There'd be like another few people,
and we each got to do 15 minutes, which was awesome, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
And I after everybody left, I'm like, I got booked at a show last Friday too at Brightside, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah, really cool. We could talk about that in a minute, but I'm like, I have my own place to get up, which is a big part of what this is, and then I don't have to drive either, which is awesome.
I love that you have a mic so close. I like going to Brattleboro, and I like having local. I've got a lot of kids, so I get a lot of collection of material daily, but getting it out there is really hard because you got to drive so far.
Yeah.
That I really appreciate, and it's such a neat space.
Thank you.
Well,
One of the things. So for people that are watching. During the summer, we're probably going to switch the mic to Thursday nights, maybe every other Thursday. Barre Pinske, or Pinske's Rising Tide, is the Facebook page that is on, and New England Comedy Open Mics on Facebook is where we all kind of go for a reference as to what's happening. But yeah, so you could check that out if you want to come to a local show. So the neat thing about my place, and I don't want to be overly critical about other places, but I did drive 2 hours to go to Manchester, where there were 18 open micers. There was one little light above our heads, one kind of funny speaker, big tables, everybody's on their phone, and then the door, which happens a lot at these buildings because they're the narrow kind of restaurant with the window along the street building with the door right there. People are going in and out. It's very distracting, and sometimes they have TVs on. It's crazy. So at my place, it's all about the comics. The door is far away, got a really nice sound system, real nice lighting, a timer. So it's kind of a real professional sort of feel. And then we're recording it too on YouTube and putting all the shows on there. So I put a little bit of, most of the mics are at the will of trying to find a venue, and that's gracious of them to do it. But mine is more like a theater almost.
Right. It's created for that creativity, I
actually did it for musicians to begin with, but musicians all think that they're rock stars. Open micers are driving 2 hours for 5 minutes and they're happy.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, some of us, I'm not saying me, but some of us feel like, we're rock stars too. Believe me.
I've got sunglasses on. I know I'm a rock star.
She's definitely the coolest one in the room, that's for sure.
Oh, God. So I don't want to interrupt this, but Alex, and I know this is odd, but Alex was supposed to start the countdown timer. We're trying to keep within the format. The timer never started,
I was wondering
Alex,
about that, too.
And we don't want to go over
5
30
minutes.
minutes.
We've got 5 minutes.
We got a 5-minute sign. Okay, so I got my phone here, and I'm going to watch. So at 4:39 on my phone, we're going to, we'll wrap it up. So what do you guys have? Obviously, if I'm hosting a little talk here, it's my job to kind of keep this moving and keep it interesting. But is there something that you guys want to add, that you want to share with the general public about your experience that you think they might find interesting?
I'd like to say, come to open mics. It's entertaining to listen to people, I think, and it's great getting a response for the comedians. So I think I'd like to just put it out there to go on Facebook, look at the groups, come in, be an audience member, and come see what it's all about. And maybe you'll want to try it too,
Yeah, and I also think that there's a certain charm to an open mic versus like a show or an open mic is definitely more raw. Because like a show, like, a lot of people might have experience seeing comedy on like a Netflix or a streaming service. But that's very polished. Now, what we see at open mics is very unpolished.
Yeah.
And it can get a little rowdy, a little crazy, a little chaotic, but I think that's all part of the fun.
Yeah. Well, I will add to that. Part of what I'm doing with my space by video documenting our open mic is kind of turning that into a little bit of a reality show of what's going on. So it's not like a show, but it's a reality show about what the open micers are doing. And I like that too. I'll relate another story about driving down the hill from Brightside and feeling good about it. And it was kind of the same night that the other experience, because I have so much work in the can now that I can draw on that I know is going to get laughs after 2 years of experience. I didn't have to have my head in the game. I didn't write because I've been busy. And then I really realized, this is the art form for pros. They can go shopping, do whatever they do. The lights come on. They're on the stage. They've done these bits over and over and over and over. Then at that point, it becomes like acting in a show.
Yeah.
So I would like to. And I don't even know if I want to get to that level, but that was really interesting for me too. Mm-hmm. So I get what you're saying, Aaron, and I like the open mic, and I've only done like 2 real shows.
Yeah. No, well, I remember the last time I remember seeing you at Brightside was like a couple weeks ago because I wasn't there last week. But and as I recall, you crushed. You were just one of those nights where like you were just glimmering on stage and the audience, you were in the pocket, the audience was with you, and I'm like, wow, he's really in it today.
Thank you, because I was gonna ask you, you commented that I did a good job, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit. One of the things I'm thinking about doing at my place too is a workshop.
That's what I was gonna ask. Writers workshops, writers mics are so good.
But I think what's happening to me with respect to this whole thing is I've been funny with my friends for years. I've always been interested in comedy. I've done stupid things like I had a Domino's Pizza World Headquarters jacket from when I carved at Domino's World Pizza way back in the day. I like have sculptures at Domino's Headquarters. We were in Utah, and I took a pizza package with my jacket and walked into a McDonald's and said, "Who ordered the pizza?" with my friends were out in the car. So as we know, we're all being fun with our friends. So the point is doing my carving festival, being in a lumberjack show, entertaining with my friends, and this is kind of, and wanting to have a reality show, this is kind of coming full circle with me now, where I'm feeling very comfortable on stage. I'm really enjoying trying to get the laughs, and I'm glad that you think I'm doing a good job, Aaron, because I'm trying, but what I'm trying to do mostly now is be really, really comfortable and really trying to connect with the audience.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm trying to do.
And I'll say that the crazy thing about comedy is that you could do a great performance, do a great set one night, and the next night do the same set at a different place, and completely bomb. You know, and you to the point where you question if you should even be doing comedy.
It's true. I'm like,
I've actually started telling people, like friends that I really love and I think are hysterical, when, they say like, "Oh, Aaron, I've bombed like, 3 nights in a row." And I put my hand on their shoulder and I say, "Listen, you are so funny. Never forget that, because once you start bombing a lot, it can get in your head. So I just say, listen, you are a very funny person, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So then I want them to kind of, feel that and reset and not have all those bombs take them down.
Yeah.
Are you trying to really jinx me for the Thursday show, Aaron? Is that the deal?
No, never.
All right. So it looks like, as they say at the open mic, our time is up. But I want to thank Fact 8 for having us. I want to thank you two for showing up. I hope that the general public will come to the show.
Come on out.
Come see us.
Come on.
Get some laughs. It's going to be fun. Thank you, Alex.